just acknowledge that I know that. What's up, everybody? This is the Jedi. Let me turn off the air. What's up, everybody? This is the Jedi. First, happy Sunday to everybody, and I hope everybody is well, and all of that. I thought after my last piece, um, after I watched it back, I'm so passionate, and I don't write stuff down. I don't prepare what I'm going to say in life. So when I'm speaking, I'm just flowing. And so sometime when I watch things back, like in the case of this last stream, there was more that I could have said. There was more, but I was so furious in that moment. I'm still furious. I'm never not furious. I'm in a state of constant fury, you know. It's just depend what level you get exposed to. It's just whenever you catch me, and whatever else has been stacked on top of the knowledge of oppression and injustice. That's all reflected in my reaction to everything in the society. But there's so much more, because as I have before, I pondered yet again, I've said to you, if we can't agree on who we are, we can't agree on anything. We can't. We have to be able to agree on who we are, but we gotta know who we are as individuals and as a people and as a dead leaf. That's gonna bug me. Oh, wait. Okay. It's a small thing, but it will bug me. Anyway, we have to know who we are, but we have to agree on who we are. And, when we talk about, when you always hear people talking about, education, 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 it's always this education, but nobody knows anything. What are we educating? What do we mean? What do we mean when we hear parents and just general people in our community say, it's education, or they need to put more money into education? First of all, I don't think that any amount of money dictates what and how much you learn. You don't have to have any money. I could open a university today. I don't need money to teach. Once the structure is built, or if it exists, it's there. I don't need to pay for anything else. And the city and the state indeed should be giving me free utility so I have lights on. People should, if we're that concerned about education and where this nation stands on the list of educated countries at the bottom, seems they just give out books. How much junk mail do you get each week? So it seems that could be just the junk mail would translate into books. My point is that it's we just have the wrong understanding of education. Now, I mean us. I'm only and ever talking about us. So we just have the wrong understanding of education and what things are the most important to be passing on to the next generation. And not even the next generation, those of our contemporaries who are walking around in darkness and don't know anything. What I'm trying to get to is that, when we talk about the Israelites, when we talk about Africa, when we talk about the slave heist, when we learn, just now in the last several weeks that so many people didn't know about Greenwood, Oklahoma, it's maddening. It makes you think, well, what are we doing in our homes? And as I brought you in the other video that I did about the little boy who they went to the restaurant in Baltimore, and he had on the same thing as the white kid, and they wouldn't let him in. And the mother was saying she hadn't taught her 9-year-old boy about racism. This is a problem. This is a problem. Because it goes to the central core of our response. I always tell you, knowledge equals action. So that little boy, just in that case, that little boy standing there perplexed, and, because he's been told that they're all the same, and these people are your friend, and and so his reaction is going to be a docile reaction. When he's been prepared and knows this is the problem, he would have had a different reaction standing there. He would have been loud. He would have been probably talking over his mother, and he wasn't, because of her. So that's all part of the big picture. So we talk about the issue that got me worked up in that last video. Why I did it was because of the issue with this Deshaun Jackson person who had posted a quote of Hitler from that. It was Louis Farrakhan quoting Hitler, and but this fake anti-Semitism charge is being thrown at him. We got to protect our culture, man, and that goes back to knowing who we are and agreeing on who we are. so that we see the day when there's no way this enemy would ever approach one of us with that fake outrage and fake indictment and charge of anti-Semitism. You know, for those of you just still who don't get it, it's like I'm obviously an African dude. So I can't be anti-African. Now, let me qualify that because we see the coon class, you feel me? And so, and all skin folk and kinfolk. So you can we have people who are, you know, externally they're African. They appear to our eyes to be African, but they do things that are antithetical to our progress and our state of being. You know, the Tim Scotts of the world from South Carolina, you know, there he was up on MSNBC, and they were asking him about Trump had tweeted out that rally of some white devils yelling white power. He played the clip, and, you know, this is what, and he's told him that the president retweeted that, and he goes, "Are you outraged?" And in the interim, he said, you know, before he could answer, he said, the dude goes, "Are you outraged?" He goes, "Because, you know, I'm a white guy and I'm outraged." And this slow 15-minute air, it felt like, before he went into, well, I think he shouldn't, I don't think he should have retweeted it. I think he should just take it down. But I'm not going to politicize it. You know, you can politicize it, but I'm not going to politicize it. And just this vomit, like, you are darker than this turban I'm wearing. And how do you speak like that? To me, that's like denying your mother. I don't understand that. But I'm just trying to say that I could never do anything that's anti-African, but I needed to qualify that by saying we clearly see every day, all day, that there's people that are being absolutely anti-African, and they're darker than this damn turban I have on my damn head. That's something else, because, and it's not really a difficult issue for me, because I've said, and I will continue to say, that those people need to be gotten rid of off the earth along with the enemy of our people. They gotta go. They just gotta go. They gotta go. They gotta go. But I want to go back to this anti-Semitism nonsense. I need my people to understand, first of all, anytime that I speak, especially on anything like this or just anything, you should be following up on the information that I deliver to you. You should be following up and expanding and expounding your own wealth of knowledge on that. You know, I will never be able to sit down on any topic and give you every single thing about that, and there's no more to be said. You know, you need to process, you know, so you need to source other information and more on the topic, you know what I'm saying? And this is very important, because like I say, years ago I did a video called Jews, Judaism, Zionism, and something. I don't know what I called it. But it had stirred up again in me then. And my feelings on this are the same. We are the Semitic people, and we need to claim that. We give so much of our culture away. We're just allowing stuff to just be given away. And we don't call it out. We even marvel at people who do what we do. How many brothers, I've told you this in the past, how many brothers have I talked to that they marvel at Eminem? Why are you marveling at anybody that's not an African doing what you created? Unless it's your son or your daughter or one of our sons or daughters that is us. You're glorifying him when all he's doing is mimicking you. What does that mean? I can't. But we have to call it on the big scale and the small scale. I was clicking around, and I happened to see what they said was the full video, which I didn't end up watching the whole thing because I just couldn't get through it, of this Offset dude being pulled over in a Porsche 911. I don't know where he was at. I feel like it was Florida. I don't know. And it's been, I guess it's a little while back, but why I'm mentioning it is because as it goes to giving away our culture, when he was pulled over, a whole precinct of police were behind him. Like a precinct. They were surrounding his car, and this was all for allegedly his back window being, the tint on his back window being too dark. First of all, I have to address that because in most states across these United States, tinted windows on your 3 back windows is fine to any degree of darkness as long as you have 2 side mirrors. So but the cop specifically was identifying the reason why he pulled him over was because his back window he couldn't see in. Okay, forget that. So fine. But if you listen to the video, you hear the cop. He has a southern accent, but I don't even know if Offset was even picked up on it. Maybe he did later if he saw the video, or something. But you hear the dude start trying to talk black while he's talking to him. First, when he comes against your driver's license registration, and it was on and on. And then once he learned who he was, and Offset was giving him pushback. Plus, he had his attorney on FaceTime or whatever you call it. And it's like, I'll just call my attorney, and the attorney was right there. Appreciated that. But then the dude just his speech just dwarfed into, come on, man, me, it's all good, and like that's what made me not watch the rest of the video. Wallahi, that's why I didn't watch the rest of the video. I was too disgusted by that. I go, I can't watch the rest of this. I can't. But I mention it because this was here somebody right in your face, even using the culture in any way. We got to be just like they take the smallest thing and scream anti-Semitic. We got to take which is some bullshit. We have to take the smallest things and proclaim it's racism. It is anti-Semitic because we're the Semites. I'm offended. I'm outraged. I'm injured. I'm a victim. I'm disgusted. We got to be a complaining ass people. We got to do that at the very least. You got to be offended by everything because we're being offended moment to moment to moment to moment. Everybody is offending us, and on purpose. Every day there's somebody's got to step down. Somebody's got to apologize for a statement or retract, or they were misquoted, or somebody's got to get fired, or something has to go on. It's daily. As I speak right now, as I speak right now, there are incidents happening right now, right now. Parallel to me speaking, we are being disrespected. And it'll be something we're going to learn about tomorrow or later today or something. Because one or more of them will rise to the surface and it will be newsworthy. We got to get offended. And we definitely have to be offended about this anti-Semitic thing because this goes to the core of who we are. It's one thing you don't want to get offended about, which you should be offended about everything I've already outlined. But if you just can't, and you just can't, and you can't, then there's some things that you don't have a choice. And this is one of them. Because they protect that like the Hope Diamond. We never hear anybody mentioning these so-called Jewish people. But they immediately mention themselves with us. I saw a clip of, it was The Talk. And they had this dude, Karamo something. And I don't know why they were talking to him, but he mentioned an episode of some show he's on where they were pulled over by the police. And why I'm mentioning it is because then later there was, because he was driving and it was his other people that are on the show with him, and one of them is a Pakistani dude. And then there was a separate interview of the Pakistani dude. And I'm just mentioning him because while he was talking to the interviewer, he was saying, when we went past the police, or when we knew we were being pulled over, whatever, I'm Karamo's driving, and then I'm sitting behind him. I'm thinking they're gonna spot me, and just if it's me or if it's an African American, like, and he's up there with the little peacock hair and all of it. Like, you don't even look like a Pakistani, and like you're not a target, like as if you're so in danger. Like, again, I give you the paper cut analogy. You don't get to scream injury over a paper cut when we sit over here with a mangled arm. And this was that for me. We're not protecting our culture. We just don't allow it. You're a sister, you see a white heifer with braids or something that's unique, that's specifically African. You don't go, "Ooh, girl, that's cute." You say, "Oh, hell no." And you shun it, and you shame it, and you indict it, and you tear it down, and send a clear message that that's not acceptable. It's not. It's not acceptable. You don't get to access our culture at all. Not even one dime of it. But if you can't do the little things, you can't do the big things. And this is a big thing. Because as I say, this goes to the core of who we are. We are the Israelites. We're those people. It's us. But it goes back to something else I've said many times. This is why it's so important to only identify yourself as an African. Because they obviously have put a lot of work into misidentifying us from ourselves and to the world. That you're black people. Show me the place on the map that says that's black. Show me that place called black. It doesn't exist. We were Negroes, and we were colored, and we were everything but Africans. Then, I think it was Jesse Jackson that came with the African American title. Okay, well, just African. Just African. Because, see, when that's in place, then it's harder for this other nonsense to come in. Underneath it. Oh, they're African. Then we start screaming, we're also the Israelites. Then it's harder to deny that truth. But if we're not proclaiming ourselves to be Africans from the get-go, and we're some other people that just sort of appeared here, and this is our origin, and we don't have any connection to any other place on the earth, and this is where we've been all our entire existence, and it becomes that. How did we allow people from not even on the continent of Africa to steal a sacred part of our identity? Hear that. A sacred part of our identity. Sacred. Sacred. Just like they try and act like they're so sacred with this, because again, we make the distinction between the Zionist and the Orthodox Jew. Whenever we are indicting these people, we're not talking about the Orthodox Jew. We have no issue with them. None. None. Those are people who follow the tenets of Torah, and they follow the tenets of the Jewish faith as it is laid out in the law. We have no problem with that. And as I've told you, those people, you never hear from them. You don't know any of them, and you never see them. You see them on social media. If you watch like the Dean Show or something like that, which is an Islamic talk show, or you'll see them on something like that. But you're not going to see them, you don't ever see them on mainstream media. Answer me now, when is the last time you saw a Jewish rabbi up on anything? Doesn't matter the program, doesn't matter. Could be a talk show, could be a news show, it could be anything. When have you seen a Jewish rabbi on a show? And you can't give me Shmuley, who hung around Michael Jackson, because he's a Zionist too. A stinking Zionist. You could just look at him and tell he stinks. Where's my punch? So you can't use him. You never see Jewish rabbis. But you see these fake Zionist people. All your media, all of them, Most of them, 99% of them, all your presenters, you know, your Andrea Mitchells, your just those people, you know, they identify as Jew, but they are Zionist. They are Zionist, and so it's important to understand what we're talking about when we're talking about this, and who is hijacking us is the Zionist. I've shared with you that Orthodox Jews, you can look this up right now. I want you to do this. Make sure you do this, everybody. I don't want this to just be something you heard. I want you to go and make it personal for yourself. Your part of your homework, after you watch this stream, at the very least, is you're going to look for and find two things. One, you're going to find video of Orthodox Jews being brutalized in Israel by Zionists. I mean, they draw blood. You understand? These Zionists are nothing but vicious devils. White, vicious devils. That's all they are. There's nothing holy. They're not connected to Judaism. There's nothing respectable going on there at all. But they are the ones hijacking our very identity, a very sacred part of our identity. But I want to come to that in a second. So that's one. You're gonna go and find video of Orthodox Jews being persecuted and beaten and killed and all that kind of stuff in Israel. That's one. The other thing you're going to be looking up is you're going to go and look up the March on Washington. I feel like it was 2008. Start with 2008. Of the Jewish March on Washington denying Zionism. There were thousands of them out there. They were denying the Jewish flag or the Zionist flag. They were denying the state of Israel and denying Zionism. It's not part of them. They don't have anything to do with that. And they're just as furious about it as I am. Do you understand? They're very furious about it. Oh, mashallah. What was I going to say? All knowledge is with Allah, everybody. I tell you that all the time. You don't know anything unless you're allowed to know it. You don't know anything. You don't know anything. So, inshallah, that's going to come back to me. Arg. Go back. So, you have to go and do your research. I know you're not dying on me. Don't. Why? Oh man, that was really important too. I couldn't go into that because I needed to say this or I would have forgotten that. So I needed to say that. Wait, y'all. I'll move to something else and inshallah it'll come back to me. Anyways, so they're being persecuted for real. And Allahu Akbar. All knowledge is with Allah. So you also drop the ball too when you accept this Christianity, everybody. It's very important. Again, it all leads back to that. It leads back to that. You drop the ball when you do that. Because if you were so in love with Christ, you'd be an Orthodox Jew or a Muslim. There's no other choices. There's no other choices. If you were so in love with Christ, you would be an Orthodox Jew or a Muslim. More likely a Muslim, because the Orthodox Jews have some issue with the Son of Mary and whatever. But anyway, and I'm not sure if it's just this whole idea of his divinity and all that nonsense, which is nonsense. Hold up. When we talk about defending the culture, and certainly this part of it, Christianity becomes a liability as I see it, because when you think about the Son of Mary coming only to the Israelites, why am I can't get, because I don't have any socks on, so my feet are slipping every time I try and push on the carpet. Stupid. Anyways, So the Son of Mary was sent only to the Israelites by his own words. That's who he was sent to, us. That's it. Nobody else. Nobody else. So that's important to claim that as it relates to the argument of us being the Israelites. That's something else of ammunition for you to be able to buttress your defense with and say, no, we're the Israelites. We are the, and by the way, you need also to do some etymology and understand that Israelites, if you do the etymology, is actually the Islamites. Islamites. This Israelite is a different term, and you just have to, I can't go that deep right now. I just can't. But you can, and that's part of your homework. There was some time back, there's a Jewish scholar, an Orthodox Jewish scholar, who was also a scholar in etymology and religious history. I mean, he's really something else, a brilliant mind, really. And this is he was sitting with some other rabbis, but they were all intellectuals. So there was no passion and arguing going on. I always tell you, intellectuals never argue. We discuss. We discuss. Discuss. That means you don't try and pull something out of your ass to win an argument or get the subject off, off track and all that kind of stuff. We deal with what is known. What is known. And he was saying to his colleagues, I wish you could hear him, man, but he was saying, so you could just hear his tone of voice and everything else. It was so everything. But he was saying, he was making the point, his overall point was that their faith clearly goes back to when they understand that it's the Islamites and how the Orthodox Jewish faith is so close to Islam that when you understand that it's the Islamites and you go back, that they understand their faith goes back to Adam. We understand that as well as Muslims. So he was making the overall point that, in fact, he said this words. He said that, in fact, it would seem more likely that the true religion of God is Islam. Allahu Akbar. We know that, and, I'm glad he came to that on his own, but it was still interesting and dynamic to see him intellectually work that out and to share that and how he put the pieces together with the etymology and the history and all of that. It was something else. Like, wow. I wish I could tell it to you just like that. But I'm just trying to say that you have to know that. And then you're going to have some work to do, because you're going to have to readjust and unlearn what you've learned and accept something new. Accept the truth. You understand? Because if you're going to have clout and credibility on the issue, it's kind of like your parents coming up to you and telling you, don't you ever smoke or drink. I better not ever catch you smoking and drinking. Like, you are smoking and drinking while you have no credibility. So when you accept this white man's Christianity, you're losing some of your credibility or your ability to defend your true identity as an Israelite, an Islamite. But we'll go with Israelite right now, just not upset a bunch of people. Not that I care, but I just don't feel like doing it. So, this is essential. Because so much of the control and power, when you think about no entertainment artist is allowed to have a black promoter. This is why Don King, as annoying as he is such a big deal. I don't know if a lot of people know this. Don King is or was, is he still living? I don't know. It's kind of in a sea by himself. You don't get to have a black promoter. That's going to be some Zionist dude with last name Weinstein or Goldberg or one of them type names. You understand? Oh, yes. So the control. And then when we have the Orthodox Jews coming from Ethiopia, there's some of them there. depends on which day you read it and catch it. But there's some that they let in, and there's some they persecute, and they can't have so many, and they face racism because those people there are white, so therefore they are devils and they're racist, of course. Again, it doesn't matter where they are on the earth. The people with that skin exhibit a certain character that is consistent. I don't care if they come from Slovakia or Germany or fake ass Israel or wherever. You understand? The other thing too is to remind you that there was no state of Israel until 1948, after Truman signed the Balfour Agreement. So it didn't even exist. And geography comes into it once again, because I've told you, you have to understand that it's Northeast Africa. Because when you understand that's Northeast Africa, you go, wait, then all that's Africa. So then when you see the Palestinians, you understand, okay, we have some sort of connection going on there. There's something there. That's something. Just like we know forever, and probably still now, there's a lot of people that don't know that Egypt is Africa. There's Africa and there's Egypt. No. Egypt is Africa. But I bring all of this to say that we have to push back on this. I don't care if they want to make a charge against anybody else. That's not our issue, and we don't care. That's their battle to fight. But when it comes to African people, we need to coordinate to put down any utterance to our face or in print or behind our back or in silence or in whisper, anything anti-Semitic about African people, because we are the Semites. We are the people. And these people that come from Germany and Poland and Europe don't have shit to do with anything biblical or anything in Torah or anything in Quran. That's it. I don't know where they come from. I don't. But I know that they are not Africans, and I know that they are not Israelites. And they are, most of all, they are not Semitic. As I've said many times, we don't have any problem with anybody. Anybody can join any faith they want to. That's fine. We don't have any problem with that. You can become a Jew, a part of the Jewish faith, become a Jew, but you can't become Semitic. That's the main point to always drive home. You cannot become Semitic. You are not Semitic. You are not. 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 You must have African blood to even be considered. Do you understand? To even be considered, you must have African blood. Okay, what's this going on? I've told you the story even of the samurai. You cannot be a proper samurai unless you have African blood. A lot of people don't know that. You must have African blood to be considered a samurai. You must. You must. Let me quickly read some of your comments and get back to my topic. Shout out to Corindo Sadiq. Betsy. Shout out to you. Terrence Bowers. Yeah, I know about NFAC, Troy. Yes, absolutely. And like I say, they just, the brother, what's his name? Grandmaster Jay just only became known to me in the last week. And I hear my passion in him, because I'm a no-nonsense dude, and that's the perfect title. Not, what do they call it? Not fucking around committee or something, or no more fucking around something. I forget what the C means, but anyways, I just love its defiant title, and it's no nonsense. He understands what I understand, that you can't play footsies with our people. Like you either have it or you don't. You're either them or us, period. That's it. He has no tolerance for this white devil, and he is over the marching, chanting, and protesting. He understands armed resistance is the way to get result now. A life for a life, period. Corindo, everyone please hit the thumbs up. Thank you, Corindo. I appreciate you looking out for me, brother. God bless you for that. So far, they've been doing okay, so I just didn't say nothing. He says, show your support and respect for our brother's work and time. Appreciate that deeply. Deeply appreciate that. Thank you. Cassandra, I love you. How are you? Don't forget to thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, thank you too, Cass. Oh man, I love you guys for that. Corindo, only one thumbs up showing here. 9 peeps watching. Okay, that was early on when I started. I'll skip over now. Shout out to J9. Thank you, J9. Thank you. Yeah. Kiara. Good evening to you, Queen, as well. My angel. Hello, Jedi and family. I'm just tuning in. It's good to see you. HT, and I forgot it now. Something with an S, I feel like. Anyway, shout out to you. Shout out to you, and thank you also for your contribution. I deeply appreciate that. HT says the scene in the movie Straight Outta Compton when Ice Cube was accused of being anti-Semitic, I guess you mean. Recall when he was like, I don't even know what that is. None of us do. Paraphrased, proof. You know, I don't remember that. Did I see Straight Outta Compton? I don't know, but just to that point though, that's what we see. That's what I see when I see Steven Jackson up there having to apologize to Donna bitch ass Lemon, or anytime in these they create one of these anti-Semitic moments, then you have people up there speaking who are African, and you're like, don't you know? Why are you speaking? Do you understand that you're the person? Like, you should. This is not even the conversation. It goes through me. It goes through me. Oh my God, I can't. I can't. Anyways, going on. You say proof that when a bully bullies and the sane rejects the bullying, they had to come up with a term to label sane rejection. Sigh. Sane minds are anti-insanity, and bullying is insane. I love that. Well said. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. Yes. Yes. I could even see a t-shirt now. Anti-Semitic, anti-insanity. Sean Scott, shout out to you. Salute to the Melanated family. Carindo says it's intergenerational trauma that hasn't been dealt with because society demands immediate silence when the injured start to speak out and stand up for themselves. That's so true. And you know, my brother Kai is writing a book related to that subject of intergenerational trauma. It gets into that basically, but yeah, Kai is doing a book, and this other half, where you say that they demand immediate silence when the injured start to speak, but we allow ourselves to be silenced, you know, excuse me, by not proclaiming from the mountaintop who we are and not allowing any intrusion on that. It doesn't even have to be the issue of being Israelites. It's just anything that has to do with us. We can't allow anybody to access any of that at all. From our music to our fashion to our culture to our style to how we talk to how we wear our hair to where we live to anything that we do. We have to have a nobody else policy. Do you understand? MW, so good to see you. No other group gets a name change but us. Right. Jada, I said the punch. Where did the Zionists come from? Well, they came from, and here's the other thing too. They're the only ones that are always screaming about this Holocaust. Let's deal with that. Because we must first go back and understand that there are so-called Zionists or so-called Jews, whichever we're going to classify, this particular one I'm going to discuss, that there's a whole organization that denies this Holocaust ever even happened. Down to they were bringing in physical evidence showing that even the fencing was clearly to keep somebody out and not in. And there was some other stuff, like there was a documentary I saw, and then some of them have been on talk shows, and they show stuff, and you're like, it at least makes you question. But my issue is not whether or not it happened or not. I really don't care, because I'm in a Holocaust. I don't care what happened. I can't be. I don't have the luxury of time to give a fuck about that. I just don't. So, whether that happened or not is insignificant, and quite inconsequential to what I'm bringing. What I'm saying is, why we should be concerned about it is because A, it happened at one time in history. It's not written into law. It has not been protected by gun and law. There's no infrastructure being built right now to deny these people. There's no laws. They've never been declared 3/5 of a human being. I mean, their shit happened then, and it was over. Ours is a continuous line of oppression, murder, theft, incarceration, and everything else you're going to name. But theirs didn't even happen here, if we believe it happened. It was in Germany. It was in Germany. And so, none of them, I don't know any of them that speak German. That's first. And most importantly, they don't speak any of the languages that are in the family of Semitic languages. But to get back to your question, where they came from Europe. And my understanding of history is that I feel like they came to Germany. Or you have to know something about the war, because it was I don't want to get into that, because I won't be able to speak on that in a accurate way right now. I just have to go around the edges of it. But just to say, they didn't come from Africa, and they didn't come from here. That's the answer. But that's what also makes it egregious, because when you see them going into Northeast Africa and just setting up shop and go, yeah, this is Israel. This is it. This is, yeah. Nah. Take your bitch ass back to Germany. In fact, one of the things that got Helen Thomas in trouble, and I forgot to say this when I was quoting her to you guys, she said, when the little rabbi student asked her about the Palestinian-Israeli conflict, and she said, that the Israelis need to get off their land, she also said, the guy asked her, what should they do? She said, well, they should go back home. They should go back to where they came from. And that just made their heads roll off on fire. And even when Joy Behar's fake ass interviewed her on her night show that she had then, she goes, but can you see how that was anti-Semitic and how that just hurt a lot of people? Can you see how I'm flattening your face? Alright. I gotta go pray, y'all, because I'm not near the end. And, you can make up prayers. You can make them up. But there's more blessing if you pray on time. So I'm just at war if I stop and come back, or just leave y'all just hanging and come back. I really don't want to stop the stream. I'm just going to do what I feel is best in my heart. I'm just going to go and pray, and then that's what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to leave this on, and inshallah, those of you who are interested, you will stick with me, and those of you who are not, you can watch it when it's recorded or whatever you're going to do. But I have to answer the call to the one who creates me. bit rushed. But I also thought it would be an opportunity for me to show you guys some of my prayer rugs. This is my favorite one. That's one. This one is from Medina. This one. I don't know where it's from. Anyways. And they're very soft rugs. And then there's this one. Oh my God, there's a fly. I will not be able to go on with the stream, everybody. Thank you for watching. This is the Jedi. I'll see you soon. And this one, I don't know where it's from. I don't remember. Anyways, those are my prayer rugs. Let me also be ready with the flash water because it's one hit, one kill with the Jedi. You got the land, but you got the land. But you got the land now. You're going to have to land. So, anyways. Oh man, it cut off again, dude. I think it's just hot. Cause I need to see that in order to be able to see your comments. So let me let that boot up again. Somebody remind me of where I was at. Thank you, Corindo. I didn't see who read it. It came up too fast. That looked dangerous. I'm dangerous. Understand that. Dangerous. The boy is so dangerous. Take away my flash water, I will take your head off. You can call me violent, but you're no damn good for me. Dangerous. It'll be on the album, y'all. I'm dropping an album next. I feel like next week. Like next week. Go just drop an album. Feel me? I'm just going. It's on me, y'all. You see it? Yay! And I didn't get him. Damn. He landed on me. That was a straight gangster move. Like that was straight disrespect. You feel me? That was disrespect. That was disrespect. He just gonna fly up on me. Anyway. What was I talking about, y'all? Oh wait, it's back up. Let me see now. Yeah, this phone is really warm. Uh, say something to me. Somebody tell me something about where I was at. I know I was answering. I felt like I was answering Corindo's uh, comment, and maybe that'll put me back on track. Uh, Corindo. No, it was HT. No, it wasn't HT. It was Corindo. Um, Sean Corindo. Because society demands. Then I read MW and J9. It was MW. Said, where did these Zionists come from? Yeah. So, another shout out to you, MW. Um, so, to my understanding, they were thrown out, or it was something with the war and all that. I just can't speak on it right now, but they're not from here. They're not from Africa, and they're not Semitic. And why they decided to hijack this goes into another layer of their evil and conniving. You know what I mean? Think about that. You know what? I'll just get my people together and go, you know what? We're going to say we're those people. We'll write it and we'll say it. Think about that. Like, that's, at some level, that's what went on. We're going to say we're those people. How do you do that? And what do you have to be to do that? Oh, we're the Israelites. That's why it's been also, but this whole white Son of Mary image also plays a role in this. And your own assistance in this crime. Because, Kai, confirm. I can't do anything now. I'll do it after. Oh, Kai, thank you so much. I don't know, but I can't see anything because I thought something. Anyway, but good to see you, brother. You know how much I miss you, and so we're due. And I just been holding myself back. But I said, damn it, I'm calling Kai. I'm calling him. But I know. So this white image of the Son of Mary plays a role in this, everybody. I hope you could see that. Because if you allow the Son of Mary to be a white man with blue eyes and blonde hair, then one of them can come up with a big nose and curly hair. And go, look, well, I'm a Semitic Jew, and they're not. Again, I stress, we don't have any issue with anybody joining the Jewish faith. That's fine. They should. Everybody should. Or Islam. But let's not go too far and start claiming that you're a Semite, because you're not. And you definitely don't have the requisite to be standing up proclaiming anything to be anti-Semitic when you yourself are anti-Semitic, because you're not a Semite. There he is. Got the bitch. Got the evidence to prove it. Y'all don't know if y'all can really see it. Y'all see that? That stain? That was his ass. Got him. One hit, one kill. The Jedi does not play. Do not approach the throne. So, you can do that. But your very existence is anti-Semitic. Or non-Semitic, we'll say that. Non-Semitic. Non. Words are important. I was watching something. It was an old clip they showed of Ellen. There were some boys that were on there who, the little white boy had been being bullied at school, and one of the black boys had at least been laughing at when he was being bullied. Felt bad about it, got one of his homies, and they brought him some new clothes to school. It went viral, blah, blah, blah. But I was thinking in that moment, because the kid is kind of, he's interesting. I'll say that. But it dawned on me, because I said to myself in that moment, he's different. And then I stopped myself and said, no, I'm not going to say different. I will say unique. Because different, it was given to me in that moment, that different is other, you know. But unique is interesting, you see. So, anyway, so we will say non-Semitic instead of anti-Semitic. But indeed, they are anti-Semitic because they're against the Orthodox Jews. There, done. Riddle solved. HT. When we read the book Inner Ring by Rudy Gonzalez, enthralling. I don't know the book. What's that about, HT? DeJule Suber. Greetings to you. And HT says, likened to a GMO locale. A friend used to call it Is It Real? I'm not sure what I just read. And you just made me think of something when you mentioned GMO, because I was on the phone yesterday with Dr. Millie Hinkle. I mentioned Dr. Hinkle to you guys when I told you that I had received a cancer diagnosis back in 2010. My father had prostate cancer for 15 years. He died in 2009. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. And so in 2010 I was diagnosed, and then after I had my accident, after the diagnosis, I couldn't deal with that. So I was in a wheelchair for a year, and so I couldn't deal with that until the following year. And then I had a second biopsy, and they said they found nothing. My prayers had been answered. I was given a miracle. But after the diagnosis is when I discovered camel's milk, because I was in my house for 3 days in my underwear with no blinds open. I wouldn't take phone calls. I was deeply depressed, and reading and studying everything that I could to understand what, and that's how I came across camel's milk. And why I mention it is because when you mentioned the GMO, it just came back to me because one of my buddies that lives in Delaware has been diagnosed with prostate cancer, and he's been in fact, he was crying on the phone yesterday. That cry when your voice goes up here and you can't even talk. I mean, he was up there. He was really in a place, and I knew where he was at, And I found out about it from my best friend, and so then I called him in Delaware, and he was so grateful. He was saying, he just felt like nobody cared, and we were talking about how most of society doesn't care and all that stuff, and he was just in a dark place. But why I mention it is because I want to get him started on this camel's milk, and I was reading him from Dr. Hinkle's website. Even there was a guy that had stage 4 prostate cancer, and the doctors had told him there's nothing else we can do for you. We don't know what to tell you. And he started drinking the camel's milk, and within 3 weeks or 3 months, he was cancer-free and has been cancer-free for 7 years. But when I spoke with Dr. Hinkle, because I was calling her because he didn't want to order a large quantity, and from the Amish farm she had given me years ago, which is where I had been ordering my camel's milk from. And why I was calling her yesterday was to find out from her what amount does he need to drink. If he's getting a small amount, I can't see, Kai. It just gives me a preview and your name, and then I can't see anything else. But I'll And but rest of you guys, that's you can donate, you guys, to the Cash App. I'm the Jedi 1814, and you can also go to um, the GoFundMe. The link is down below the video. I want to finish my train of thought. I'll come back to that. So I need to know how much does he need to drink, because he was saying, well, I'll just order 5 pints. Because when I was ordering it, it was $9 a pint. And so I would order like 20 pints, and then so with shipping and everything, is they ship it to you frozen. It would be a little over $300 for 20 pints plus the shipping and all that. So I'm glad I spoke to her, because that's why I was calling her to see, because he only wanted to order 5 pints. I'm like, well, he's just going to start with 5 pints. You know, is that going to be enough to just like at least get him started and whatever? Because she also understands dosaging on the milk, you know. And but I'm so glad I spoke to her, because the dairy that I was going to order it from in Pennsylvania, this Amish farm, which she originally turned me on to, she was over them. She was like, no, don't order it from them, because I found out he's charging people double what he told me, and also he's not feeding them he's feeding them stuff that has GMO in it, which really shocked me, because you know the Amish are really salt of the earth. They no technology. They they like nah. So anyway, so she was just telling me about this dude's character, but the GMO part really rung a bell, and I was like, wow. So when you just said that GMO HT, that provoked me to just share that with you guys. But anyway, Andrea Smith, big shout out to you. Let me see what you giving in this picture, Andrea. See what you giving. Okay, both y'all are giving. We call it giving. Reina Africana, good evening. I don't know if I've seen your name before, Reina. Am I wrong about that? Have I seen your name before? The Africana is kind of familiar, but I don't remember the first name for some reason. Forgive me in advance. J9. Oh, you're talking to MW. My angel is also speaking to J9. Well, okay, and then Frankie Cardona. Jedi, look up a guy named Yash Kara. Okay, I was going to write it, but I have it here, so I don't need to. Okay, I will. He has old vids on YouTube. And Frankie, you saying I sent you that thing on Messenger that I went and watched the weekend doing Smooth Criminal, and I hated it as I knew I would. He sounds like, I just can't with him, dude. I can't. Thank you, my angel. He says my prayer rugs are beautiful. Indigo Moon 67. A fly will kill the whole mood every time. Won't it though? But I've told you guys in the past, I ponder, everything in creation is for information. Every bit of it. From a grain of dust, I question, I go, what is this supposed to tell me? What does this mean? Because I know it means something. And so I pondered the housefly, like, what is it with the damn fly? And like I say, the closest thing I've come to is that for me, it's a reminder that you are the rotting thing. It's a reminder of your death, your constant journey to death, your decay. Because you can be in a room full of food, and the flies will still bug you. It's a whole feast. Why aren't you on the feast? Because you're the feast. Because remember, your skin is porous. You're giving off an odor. You understand? You're the rotting thing in the room. You're the rotting thing. The food is cooked. You're rotting. You're rotting. You see? That, in addition to their place in the food chain and the circle of life and the cycle of life as well. So houseflies are more than just something random, but they're definitely aggravating as hell. J9. The Jews can't fit any of the prophecies, and they typically speak Yiddish, a mix of Hebrew and German. Yes, that's so true. Thank you for that, J9. That's absolutely the truth. Um, it's key. It's a key component, really. You know, that really ties it all up into a bow, because they don't um, they aren't they don't fit any of the descriptions of prophecy. They just don't. They just don't. And as I say, they don't speak or come from any of the languages that, or the land of Semites and languages that would be Semitic. That's just historical fact. Even if I was an atheist, this is the claim that people should be making to these damn people. They want this special sappy response when you know they're Jewish, and no, nah, you don't get the credit without the damn work. J9, you're talking to MW, okay, and then you're talking to MW, and then I read that, and then my angel, and then Indigo, and Light Bearer, shout out to you. Yes. Yes. And you guys, you can always look for, I've told you, any of you that produce videos, and it's not nonsense, you're more than welcome to share your links on the channel anytime. Like, I don't care. And, Light Bearer, I did get a chance to look at your videos, and what technology are you using? Because, like, you'll make references in the video of, you'll say that I'll put that in the chat, and then I don't see the chat. And so I don't know what it's interesting though. I'm wondering, I'm just curious, like, well, what technology is she using? What is she doing? How is she doing that? So let me know. Thank you, Corindle, on Compliment of the Rugs. My angel says, Jedi, you look dangerous with the, oh, that was you. Dangerous with the I'm the same way. One swat, you're dead. That's right, Light Bearer. I've always been good with a fly swatter. Like, I don't play games. Like, all these people chasing a fly for an hour. I just know you gotta land. You're gonna land. You're gonna land. You're going to land. You must land, and when you do, I will strike. That's how I feel about this white devil. You got the land. Look, there they are with the fireworks. My angel says, don't mess with the Jedi fly swatter, everybody. Oh my God. We are thoroughly enjoying the comedy. Thank you, Angel. Big shout out to you, Sweetie Kibalan. That's my angel, everybody. Javashi, I love you so much. Light Bearer, I can explain why one day we do a show together. I would love that. 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 I like your energy, everybody brings their own thing to the earth, and I always tell you, our women have a different ability, for all that I am and the talents I've been given, a female version of me is way more powerful to me, and but I like your energy, Light Bearer, and yeah, that would just be a good fit, because I'm fire, and you have you just have more control than me. Most people do. I'm always homicidal, Frankie says, Lo him? Or do you mean Yalohim? Is that what you're trying to say? Thank you, my angel said you were talking about the Holocaust. Thank you, finally. Okay, I'm going to come back to that. And then Frankie says, Yah Elohim. See, I knew what you were saying. See, the Jedi. Get you some of this. Get you some of that. Get you some of this. Get you some. Get you some. Get you some of that. Get you some of that. Get you some of that. Kai says peace to the family. Lightbearer says StreamYard. What is... Oh, that's what you're using. All right. I want to go back to this Holocaust, everybody. Because this Holocaust is in doubt. And as I said, we don't really care if that... It's not really our issue of whether that happened or not. They are telling us to get over it. There's a collective get over it being said to us for generations now. Well, that was then. Because they paint this picture and keep up this propaganda that our suffrage and the crime against us is something historical. Oh, that was just so long ago. It was just, we can't even, were they writing then? Was there, did they have, like it was just so antiquitous, and it's not. Yet, at the same time, never forget the Holocaust. Really. That was white-on-white crime is what it was. That's first. It was at one time in history. The perpetrators of that crime are dead. Done. The little Nazi skinheads that you see popping up here now in these hate groups, some of them are just borrowing that identity. They're just straight white devil. Not from Germany, not from any, just straight devil. That's all. But they are stealing that identity. And then many of them have German roots. German and what's the one that always sends me to the hospital? Oh, I'm Irish. The moment I hear that. The moment I hear that, I trigger. But they perpetrate it as if it could happen tomorrow again. Nobody's attacking these people. There's not an epidemic or a thing of this is happening to them. And you can't even identify them. How many of these damn news people and these entertainers, you don't know they're so-called Jew until something happens and they show up wearing a yarmulke all of a sudden. But you've seen nothing holy from them, nothing that reflects that character of being a part of that faith. Nothing at all. And poof, I'm wearing a yarmulke. Poof. You usually see it, especially at state events, like president dies or something like that, and they go to a funeral. Here they come with their yarmulke. I'm over it. But you can't even identify them. So it's not like they're a visual target. Again, we are a visual target. This is the same argument I've made about these alphabet people. I don't know that you're an alphabet unless you do something alphabetic or you tell me. As soon you could see me from 2 miles away and say that's an African. You understand? We got to protect ourselves, everybody. We got to protect our culture. It's got to be off limits. They're so fake with this anti-Semitic nonsense that this is why they come with this. When you say that the Jews have all the money, which you're really talking about the Zionists. Orthodox Jews are not involved in entertainment, everybody. They're not in putting on shows and, what's the little alphabet dude that does the Andy Cohen. Oh, because I'm Jewish. Because I'm Jewish. I'm Jewish. He's gay and he's a Jew. Where's my punch? All right, nerds. But he's the perfect example. You see what he does and his character and the type of shows that he puts on and what he does. Is that a holy person? And would you even know that he was a Zionist? if he didn't tell you. He's never going to say the word Zionist, by the way. The only person I've really heard say Zionist is fat ass, the fat whale, Megan, the bitch on The View. She was like, they were talking about something, it's probably another anti-Semitic story at that time. And she was like, I probably lean more Zionist than anything. And I was like, did she just say Zionist? Like it's out in the front. If she's making that statement on ABC live television, it's out. That means it's just out. They good. They're good. So I'm out. You understand? So when you see a fucker like Andy Cohen, he's the perfect example. But I'm trying to express to you that that's the people that they're really talking about. They don't know it. They don't have the knowledge. So they're not able to make the distinction between Orthodox Jews and Zionists. So yes, the Zionists do have all the money, but then they come out and scream that you're anti-Semitic when you say all the money. I already told you in my last stream. In their country here, under the law, they have libel and slander. And you can say anything you want about anybody, in any way, in any forum. If they can't show where something you said is complete and utter lies, it's not libel, it's not slander. Yes, damn it, the Jews have all the money, the Zionists. Damn it. I'm over it. Lightbearer says, Caucasians truly think the most evil events in history was the Holocaust. Don't they, though? Listen, a conservative number, at least 50 million of our people were lost in the Middle Passage. That's just not the ones that didn't even get here. I wonder which is bigger, 50 or 6? I don't know. I'll have to carry the one. Let's see, carry the one. Let's see. Turns out 50 is greater than 6. I had no idea before I checked it. Thank God I checked it, because I had no idea. So let's not do comparison of crimes and suffrage, is what I would say to these people. Because nobody will win that except for us, sadly. Nobody has or is suffering more than African people. It just isn't. And also when I talk about protecting the culture, everybody, and keeping a hawk's eye watch over it, that also entails not allowing anybody to compare themselves to us. I saw Dr. Claude Anderson. That might have been on your video, Lightbearer. Did you do something with Boyce Watkins and Dr. Claude Anderson? Was that you, Lightbearer? Talk to me. Anyways, I saw this video recently of Dr. Anderson, and apparently he's been through some kind of health thing, everybody. He's been in the hospital, he's lost a lot of weight, and he's been going through something, and I don't know what it is. And he's one of our treasures. We don't want to lose him. But, anyways, he was saying again that he was talking about how he was tying it to the civil rights legislation and how basically, I'm just shorthanded, we ain't really gotten no legislation because somebody else always comes along and waters it down. Why he stands out is because when I heard him speaking, he echoed what I say to you all the time. Stop letting them join our shit. Because the moment it becomes something else. It becomes something else. It no longer is us then now. And he was saying but he was laying down detail, from his own knowledge and experience. Going back even to Title IX and how they brought the women in to sort of take that and make that about women and not about black people. And he brought that up to, the Black Lives Matter. They've been infiltrated and taken over by the alphabet people. So now it's just an umbrella of suffrage. And that's fine. It's just like, y'all don't represent us now. We need something that only represents us. You feel what I'm saying? It's kind of like when you want orange juice. Like, don't give me orange juice mixed with papaya. That's cute, but I really wanted orange juice. And you keep bringing me stuff that has orange juice in it. I need just straight orange juice. That's what we need. And that's also what I love about this brother, Grandmaster J, of this CF or this NFAC or whatever it is. Because he understands that. Black only. Like, that's it. Nobody else. Take your shit and go over where, go. You don't get to join us. Yeah, 88. I'm drinking black cherry punch. It's my favorite. That or if I'm not drink if I'm drinking something cold, it's gonna be my black cherry punch, or it will be something peach. Either my peach tea, or it'll be my peach propel. If I'm drinking hot liquid, it's gonna be tea, and that's always lemon ginger with lots of honey. But this is black cherry punch. J9. Okay, what am I getting now? J9 says, yet they obsess over black people. They make all that money off our music, talent, and authentic abilities. And it makes me sick. Okay, I see you, Light Bearer. You know, but that's one of the things that upsets me about this whole NFL, NBA, any sports that we are part of, especially in this era of this COVID. You know, we just giving it away, man. Hear this, everybody. Hear this. Hear this, because I'm sure I've said this in some form before, but I want to say this. I want you to really hear this right now. So important. We all have trepidation and fear about death. What's going on? My greatest fear of death is that I'm going to run out of time. I'm going to run out of time before something changes for us. That's why I'm so obsessed with trying to do something in my lifetime. You know, we need to get our lick in on the world, if you will. You know, our comeuppance, our just due, our respect, our proper credit, our proper compensation, you know. Oh my God, I don't know what's going on. And I just can't imagine that something's not going to happen in my lifetime. But that's my greatest angst, you know. When I think about literally from one breath to the next, like I wake up today and I go, am I going to live today? Is this the day that my life is over? You know, I find myself on some level constantly assessing and worrying and obsessing on that. I really do. We've got to somehow, you know, and then how do I get my people, at least enough of us, how do I get you out of this state of hesitance and fear where we act boldly in our speech and our actions? You know, we're still at the point where people can't even say the word white people. Even in right now's climate or chapter, where everybody's got, you know, racial injustice on their tongues, but you speaking about it in terms as if you don't have any anything that's due to you, even respect. They're still using these tiptoe words. I just can't live like that. I just can't, dude. I can't. Otherwise, I feel like my whole life will have been a question mark. You know, but having said that, that's why I said to you for years, after I start trying to start the Black Independence Liberation League, as we got down the road and I see the, you know, the apathy and the lack of, you know, like, jump, you have to assess your own mortality, your arc of life, your existence, your streak, because we're just one comet streaking across this place in time right now. I'm over it. And so I had to say, because I know this is hell. I know it. Hear that. This is hell, everybody. This is hell. So I have to understand. Now, I'm leaving all doors open. I'm moving to Africa. I'm out. But I can always come back. My home will be there. I can always come back if I need to. Like, oh, they getting it started. Or if I see a role I can play. Like I say, I'm encouraged by this Grandmaster J organization. You know. You know, and maybe I'll be at peace. They will lead it or something. I don't know. I was years ago. I was a part of a black group here where I live. Everybody, I can't remember the name of it. I don't remember the name of it. And I was part of it, but only for a very short time because I was the person to be a part of that. But the dude that was the founder, you're tiptoeing. You're tiptoeing. You know, he doesn't have the fire and the forthrightness and just tell it that I do. He wants to still do that. I can't do that. And even, this will say it. We had this was 10 or 11 maybe. And it was Juneteenth, and we had this thing at a local park. And I was giving a speech about what Juneteenth meant, why it was, and blah, blah, blah. Don't you know, I titled my speech, The Lion's Tale. And he wanted to read the speech before I gave it. And but his whole body language was very nervous about what was I going to say. That pissed me off. Don't question me. You know where my heart and dedication is. Why would you question me? Unless you're afraid I'm going to say something that's going to be displeasing to massa. You see, I can't be around people like that. I can't. So, when I assess my own existence, I live for the liberation of our people. That's it. Liberation of my people and attaining paradise after this life. Those are my only two goals in life. I need you to understand that. I need you to really hear that. Somebody says, what are the only two goals the Jedi only has on earth in life ever? Liberation of African people and making it to paradise after this life. That's the only two things that matter to me. My whole life is that. Everything about me reflects that. That's who and what I am. I don't have anything else I'm interested in. I don't have any hobbies. I don't have anything. I don't have shit that I'm interested in other than that. That's it. I don't know how you can be in this environment and not be consumed. Even if you're not trying to get to paradise, why are you not just consumed by the state of being of our people. I was at the gas station the other day, and I had on my mask, my Defiant mask. Y'all know my one, in case and y'all haven't seen it. We are the great grandchildren of the slaves you couldn't kill. It was a white heifer ringing me up. She was, oh, can I see what your mask says? And I go, yeah, absolutely. So I stopped so she could read it. She was, oh. And it was a sister. I said, this is important, I said, because we need people to understand that we are, when you talk about Africa, you talk about Africa's history, you talk about the slaves that came here, we're still those people. We're still them. And you could tell she was like, really like, I don't know where she was at, but I know she hadn't thought about that. We're still those damn people. It's us. And long conversations I have with God about the predicament of our people, is this, I mean, is there, and the only answer that I've been given from the universe, and what I deeply feel to be the truth for my soul, is the divine is waiting on us to strike everybody, to assert ourselves in any way that we imagine. Anything we imagine. From walking out of NBA leagues and NFL leagues, walking off tennis courts and golf courses, to not doing business with anything in society other than African people, not having shit to do with any white people at all. Whatever we imagine, we're entitled to do that, and we will be victorious. The divine is just waiting on us. Allah helps those who help themselves. And we're the ones standing around. We have no lack of, we have no, we're at no law, we don't have any, there's no deficit. That's not the word I wanted. Damn it. We're not low on faith. You know, we've been praying and wringing our hands and asking and begging forever. The divine is waiting for us to do something. Because when we do, we will see immediately how victorious we are. And be like, damn, why did we wait so long? But how do you move people in a real tangible way? Meaningful. When you look at Black Lives Matter, they got people. That's because it's not specific. And it's been embraced by white people. You have those that are calling it a terrorist group and all that kind of stuff, but if they didn't want it to exist, it would be like the Nation of Islam, or it would be like the Black Panther, or anything they decide to demonize, and if that's all bad for all eternity, it would be in that class. And it's not been given that by the shot callers, we'll say. So, is it really an organization? Depends on your definition. But it's trendy because it doesn't really, anybody feels like they can be a part of it, and it doesn't have a specific agenda, really. They're not really asking for anything. Even Dr. Claude Anderson said this, alhamdulillah. He said they're not really asking for anything. They're not really asking for anything. And I agree with that sentiment. I think that. So when he said it, I'm like, I know, right? So, because anytime you have a group that's going to really ask for something, not ask, but is demanding and is making it happen, then that will be a problem. So like this NFAC, Black Panther, um, anything like that is going to have problems because they're not going the Christian route. They're not going with that love everybody bullshit. And it's specifically and only about African people. And they don't want anything that only focuses just on us. I'm good with all of that. But I need more like me with me. You understand? I need more like me with me. And even now with me, there needs to be more like me that are just like, I was encouraged when I saw this NFAC out there marching on Stone Mountain or wherever the hell they were. And it wasn't 5 or 10 people. It was a crew. It was a little army. Strapped, all in black. I love that. I love that. I love that. It's just, it's so many layers to this, man. Like, I'm just, Ya says, I live in the Bronx. Where you live? I'm not telling you where I live, Ya. Because what you probably don't know, Ya, is that, you probably just being introduced to the Jedi now. But I'm still the guy that has been exposed to nearly 5 million people. I had well over 4.5 million. I always say 4.5 million, but it was nearly 5 million on my old channel. And I had 23,000 subscribers on my main channel. I saw it the other day, some screenshot that it took, and I seen a picture of it that I'd seen on a file in my computer. And it was 3,000 plus people I had on the Jedi Revolution. And I had over 2,000 videos. I had death threats coming at me. I had people that emailed me my own name, address, and phone number and everything else to my fucking email. You understand? So no, I'm not telling you where the fuck I live. You understand? Because what I'm trying to prevent is murder. Not of me. I'm ready for anything that's going to approach me. You understand? But good to know you live in the Bronx. Felipe, just made it. Shout out to you, Felipe. J9, I want that. What? Because I'm out of context now, Jay. Lightbearer. It is Jedi. It's what we are connected to, and it's doing its part. But we are delinquent in our part because we don't know ourselves. It's the damn truth. Anjane, big shout out to you, my sister. Akintunde, well, they took the message away. Shout out to you. Libera, that's the job of that higher energy, to take back what was stolen from us. But we are supposed to let them know what time it is. Yeah, and we just won't. And then, sadly, you can't just look to your brother and your sister on your left and right and know that they're with you simply because they share your melanin. You got to sniff and investigate their ass. Are you the weak Christian type with no backbone? Are you love everybody and you got a white bitch? You just don't know. So it's just it's like that hall of mirrors, that room of mirrors, which which one is the door. This is what that is for me. Walaikum salam barakmatullahi barakatuh. My written voice. Yes, I know, Jay, and I need to find out how to tell you guys how to be able to get one of these. Because when Tesha sent it to me, it had a sticker on it. I don't know where the card is now, but it just had an address that's in a different state. But there's no email, there's no phone number, and I don't know if should I give that out? Do people? I don't know. So I need to get with Tesha and find out how do people get this mask. How? I'd like to know that. I'm gonna. Trust me. I've been on the case. It's not left my mind. I want everybody who wants one of these to have it. You understand? Because I always tell you, if anytime I have anything, it's always better when somebody else has it. You know, I just knowing that somebody else has it would be like, yeah, we doing it, we doing it. You know, I just would love that. Just the value of that. So trust. I'll be finding a way to understand how does everybody get one of these masks. Okay, it looks like I got through all the comments. I want to briefly, you guys, divert from this briefly, and I'm not really diverting because I want to talk about the powerful, powerful, powerful opening of that BET Awards with "Fight the Power." That, listen, I think I had it on to record the awards, everybody, and I don't know when I don't know how many hours it took for me to finally just let it play and just watch the show because I kept going back. I had to hear it again. It just wouldn't get old. I want to hear it now, you know? And it was so boom. And, you know, even when Chuck D, fight the power. If you go and hear it, fight the power. He's really proclaiming it. It's not even he's telling you, like, fight the power. Fight the power. Fight the power, you know? And Flavor Flav was legendary. And just seeing his image again in that song was, it had its own everything, y'all. I don't know if the words are failing me right now tonight, but, oh, man. They killed that. They killed it, man. They killed it. I love when Nas said, how many Tulsas have been burnt down? Even Central Park used to be a thriving black town. I know about that. I don't know if I did a video on that or not. Central Park, bitches, used to be a thriving black city. Damn, low battery. You got to rob Peter to pay Paul. Got to unplug this one and plug this one in. So I don't got enough plugs. Yeah, but he says, how many Tulsas have been burnt down? Even Central Park used to be a thriving black town. Hey, yo, Chuck, I'm fighting the power right now. You know, that was powerful, dude. I'm telling you, that was everything. The whole show was everything. Like, it was like, why couldn't we have done this show before? It was everything. I'm trying to think, was there anything that I hated? Was there anything I'm just like, I don't really need that, I'm good? Oh, the two little twin girls. Thatcher Ass. Whatever their names are, whatever, the little Beyonce cookie cutter chicks. I want to say I don't remember not liking the song, so I'm going to say the song was okay. But they clearly they needed to go sexy, and you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. So that was the only thing that off the top of my mind right now, that really was like, I can't, you know. To women, I say again, you don't need to try to be sexy. There's no value in that. The only thing it does is sets you back, really. It makes the hunt easier for the man that you've already dolled up for us, and we've made no attempt at all. None. I don't gotta brush my teeth. I don't gotta wash my hair. I don't gotta wash my face. I can come with my drawers down, look like some bullshit. My pockets are dusty, and you still gonna gussy up. You're going to get your nails done. You're getting bundles put in. You're picking out outfits. You're wearing 60 different outfits a day. You're trying to do it all and look all amazing and just all this peacocking. And for who and for what? For what? We're not worthy. Not worthy. And it's not necessary. And you get a lot further if you just be you, just the way Allah put you on the earth. Try that. Try having the courage not to join the cheeseburgers and see how far you get and how you feel about yourself most of all. You understand? It's like when I talked about in my last piece before the live stream that I released about this competition they're trying to insinuate between black men and black women on who's being killed, and they're not saying the women's names and all this, and let's not get caught up into that. You understand? Of course we care about our women. Of course. Of course. You know, but you have to go in there and watch that video because I explain it and lay it out in that piece. But to this point about this being sexy, you don't need to do that. You know, my wife, Jan, and I've been married, what now, 25 years? Is it 20 years, Jan? She's off camera. You guys can't see her. She's really shy. She doesn't want to see nobody. Anyways. So, Jan and I have been married for 25 years. Is it 28? 28. Anyways. But when Janet first, the album that launched her, because Janet had two other albums before Control, and which that wouldn't even been big if I hadn't wrote most of the songs on it. But I'm not going to get into that though. It's not even about me. It's not about the credit. I don't even want it. But then I don't even want it. But Janet, when she came with the Control project, she was in turtlenecks up to here, homie. Literally. Turtlenecks up to here. And Janet was still the most beautiful woman on the planet. Period. All these heifers taking stuff off didn't mean nothing. Janet was it. Because a woman's beauty is evident. You don't need to dress it up or dress it down. You don't got to do nothing to it. I always tell you, when you touch creation, you've just ruined it. You've just ruined it. Anything that the divine creates is perfect. The moment you touch it, it is no longer perfect. You just ruined it. Just ruined it. Now it's ruined. It's kind of like they have the Mona Lisa. And you go, oh my God, it's amazing. And as soon as you go, oh my God, they go, oh, you just touched the Mona Lisa. You just touched it. And here comes the security guards, and you're going off to jail and all of it. Now there's a fingerprint on it. It just went down 10 million in value. Well, that's nowhere near being close to anything that the divine creates. So I just need women to understand you are perfection. And so the moment you try and touch your perfection, you just ruined it. 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 Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. It's kind of like somebody trying to talk during sex. You just ruined it. And by the way, y'all, you must not have been in the Bronx that long because you didn't say boogie down Bronx. Principle of pleasure. Yes, Janet. Everybody loves that so much. It was never my favorite. But it depends on what version you hear because you got to have part in the middle, the center part. Yes, Felipe. Yes, yes, yes. But that remix. Oh man. Then of course I had to come in and do the choreography. That was a whole thing, feel me? But whatever and stuff. Yeah. But I'm just trying to say, like, Janet was up to turtlenecks up to here, and we didn't see anything. We didn't even see her. She didn't give us anything sexy until Love Will Never Do. She showed cleavage. She had on that ugly ass wig with the thing tied around it. It was hideous. It was hideous. It was hideous. There was no need for that. No need for it. Janet Jackson is a beautiful black woman. Period. We've thought that since she was Penny. She's a beautiful little girl. She's a beautiful woman. You don't need that. You won't need to see anything to be attracted to you. We just don't. Um, Lightbearer, it took me a while also to get into that song. It just wasn't, like I said, the remixes, I love that. It's a good song. We turn right there. We, uh, something. I can't remember the lyrics now, and I wrote it. We turn left and I turn right, which brings us to a stop. I can't remember it. The thing is confusing there. Felipe, did you really live with Vanity? I did, Felipe. Um, oh, you're from Jamaica. Funny, there was a brother I just gave a ride today. That was just I was leaving Family Dollar, and did I see him at Family Dollar? Yeah, I see him at Family Dollar. Yeah, cause it's locks. And I was like, man, your locks, dude. And so when I got outside, I seen he was walking. I go, bro, where you going? You know. Anyways, he's Jamaican, and I just because it's too hot to be walking anywhere. But yes, Denise Matthews was a very good friend of mine, Felipe. I was in a television movie with her, and 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 I miss her intensely. I have a whole video that I did. I was kind of eulogizing her right after she passed away, and the video. Only thing I hate about that video is I didn't let myself go ahead and just cry because the whole video I'm holding back tears, the entire video, and that's the thing I regret. I wish I had just let myself go. I wish I had, you know, but I was trying not to cry, and then I was trying to. I wanted to be able to give you all a full story of our relationship and who she was as a person, but not betray any secrets or anything that would be sensitive or disrespectful to her memory, you know. But yes, I loved her. We had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful relationship. We weren't romantic. It just didn't happen that way from the moment we met, and so close we were that we would sleep in the bed together. I'd be in my Calvin Klein boxer briefs, and she'd be in her bra and underwear. We'd be in bed together. You know, my hand to Allah. And she was wonderful. Like I said, you can go watch the video. It'll be her picture as a thumbnail, so I don't have to remember the title of it. But yeah, we lived together for just about a year, and our friendship was a quick friendship. From the time I met her to the first time she invited me to her house, and then we just kind of took off from there. Anytime I tell people about it, I always say I was over her celebrity in probably the first 2 weeks. I was over it. Like I would forget until we'd be someplace and people reacting. Oh yeah, that's right. She's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful human being. Wonderful. She was everything, dude. She's so. I know a lot of celebrities and have known a lot of celebrities and been around a lot of celebrities, and I know that world, and I tell you, she was a rarity. Most celebrities I've met have been nice, but they're usually faking still. She was just so genuine, and I think one of the things that drew her to me was I didn't want anything from her, and she could see, thank God she could see my character, because it wouldn't have worked if she didn't see my character, and I probably wouldn't have been around her to begin with. You know, but she had a very good dissertation, and I just think when she met me, she could see my character, and that was just proven out once I began to be around her. She was very comfortable with me. You know, if you saw us together, you would think we were probably related, or we must be brother and sister, because we were very close, very close. You know, and she'd come to whenever she'd go to my grandma's house, she'd call my grandmother when just random. She just called my grandma. And whenever we were at my grandmother's house, she and my grandmother she would just be hooked up under my grandmother, because my grandmother was that strong spirit. You couldn't be in her presence without being affected by her, you know. And Denise really drew on that. She in her spiritual journey, she kind of wanted to mirror my grandmother. That's my own thinking. I never asked her that. It's just, I'm even thinking about it as I say it to you right now. But yeah, she's fantastic. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. And what an honor it is to be able to call her my friend. Um, Mary, shout out to you, Mary R. So people understand that kind of relationship. Do you mean they don't, or they do, or what are you asking? I'm not sure, Mary. Um, but to your point, or just to expound, you know, honestly, I think that if it had started out that way, I definitely would have smashed. Like, it's vanity. I almost fainted when I first saw her. She stepped out of a tan Mercedes with a uh, tan to brown suit, three-piece suit, in heels. Her hair is that. She wakes, and the way I always tell people, she wakes up, she looks like that. She never wore a bunch of makeup. In fact, when we did the television movie Lady Boss, the first day that I was on set and she came onto set and I saw her for the first time on set, when she came up to me and was hugging me, I goes, "I don't like your makeup." She didn't wear it. She didn't need it, you know. And so I was, but to digress, I would say I would have smashed. I probably would have smashed, definitely, because even when she first invited me to her place, and as I was going up the elevator, when they let me in the building, she gave me, she already cleared me with security and all that stuff, and when I pulled into the parking structure, and now I'm on the elevator, I'm going up, and I'm just like, why is she inviting me to her house? Why? 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 So I was ready for that was going to happen. I was just there and just honored that she invited me, and I didn't know that I would even see her after that day, unless it was just at the bank, because that's where I met her is at the bank where I worked at. But it's time for Isha, which is the last prayer of the day, everybody. So I'm gonna begin my closing. Um, I'll finish that statement just to say that the divine brought us to each other. She needed me in her life. If not me, somebody like me. And alas, there's nobody like me, sadly. But she needed me in her life. And she was a perfect fit for my life at that time, because at that time I was deeply immersed in entertainment. My life was that, basically. And she was like another addition now. Oh, now I'm friends with Vanity now. Now this will be, because every time you do something, something else happens. And now, oh, now I'm meeting this person. Now this, it's just, so, but alas, that wasn't, she didn't really further me in that way so much. It was, because it was just pure. It was just, like, even when she wanted me to come out and be in the movie, it was the last 6 days of shooting. I would have never asked, hey, do you think you can get me in the movie? I'm not that dude. I'm just not. I'm just not. She wanted me to come out, and be in the movie. And, I was deeply honored. But we were just so good for each other, because before I met her, I had just gone through homelessness. And, yeah, I had gone through homelessness. I had been sleeping in my car, dude. And I have to go back and revisit that chapter of my life. But anyways, we were just perfect for each other, because I was totally at peace with her. She was totally at peace with me. We were just two peas in a pod. We were good. And people would say, my God, you're friends with Vanity. And I'm just like, that's just my friend Denise. I understood it because I had been on that side too. A fan. I remember we were going to, I can't remember. It's in the video. It's in the video. Did you used to run through the halls and turn on the fire alarm? No. What hall? I don't do that. Lightbearer, I'm still shocked she is gone, and I know Prince was very hurt. He was. And I think I told the story in my video. I'm sure I did. You know, he, she was having an episode one day. I don't know if I told this. I'm not going to tell it. But just, yeah, I spoke to Prince. I spoke to him. And I'll just say this, because I don't like to leave people with total cliffhangers, because that's just rude and I hate it. She was having a bad day. There's circumstances I can't tell you. And so these circumstances led to me answering the phone. And the person on the phone asked for Vanity. So most of her inner circle asks for Denise. That's what we all called her. Her sister Patricia calls her V. She hated being called Vanity. So, anyways, I go, she can't really talk right now. And the voice says, did I say first? No. I said, she can't speak right now. And then he said, this is Prince. And I dropped the phone. Dropped the phone. Because it's almost like I could feel his presence through the fucking phone, dude. Like, and then when I picked it up, I go, hello, and you can't believe you're going to say it. Prince. I go, Vanity's having a bad day right now. He goes, is she having a very bad day? In that voice. I go, yes. He goes, I know the problem. Click. That's it. I lived at the Grand. You're asking, did she run through the house with the fire alarms, Felipe? And if you lived at the Grand, do you know what the penthouses are like then? Or maybe you don't. I don't know. CJ Mendoza, shout out to you. Bless you, Jedi, and hello to everyone. It jumped. I saw something from Akintunde. Very disciplined. Tony Scipio, Jedi, take a look at the NFAC. I have. I know what they're all about, and I'm interested in them now. So I'll definitely be checking them out. Anything you want to share with me, you absolutely can do that as well, because hey, I could see me joining them at least for the duration of the time that I'm here in America. It would at least feed my need. I need an outlet. I need to feel progress happening for us, everybody. I need to feel that. I need to feel that. And alas, we all need to feel it, but some of us just aren't aware. Felipe, you have lived an interesting life. I would love to hear those stories. I have, and my life should be a book. So many people have told me that, and now I finally say it out loud. My life is a book. It's a book. I look back on experiences that I've been able to have in my life, and I go, wow, I did that. And just so many amazing things that have made my life extraordinary, but yet I'm just a simple man. You should have married her Were you Muslim during that time? I was, and I was. Yes, I was. You're never not Muslim. What am I saying? Oh my God. Anyways, yes, I was Muslim, but I was not a practicing Muslim, like totally seriously practicing at that time. And but I always was. So I didn't really identify myself so forwardly to people that I was Muslim, because I felt like it's kind of like if you're a crackhead and then your family doesn't want anybody to know you know them. That's how protective I am about Islam. Like, if I'm not really on it, I should be representing it. I wouldn't even tell people my real name, because my name is Arabic, and boom, they're gonna go, oh, you're Muslim, you know. So, but short answer, yes, I was Muslim, but that was also, I would say, qualifies as being during part of the chapter of my life where I was studying other faiths, and because I would go to church with her. We got to the point where we started going to church, and I couldn't bring myself to say in the name of Jesus. I just couldn't do it. You know, I remember the first time we went to the church in Los Angeles, off of Adams. Anyway, we stepped out of the van, and you had to see how I was dressed. You know, everywhere I went, people thought I was famous or knew that I was in entertainment. And what I was struck by is how all the church members, because I'm showing it with vanity, I must be somebody. And she would always tell people, you know, he's a choreographer. And they were besieging me. You know, we'd like to be part of our praise team. And no, I won't be praising, you know. And it was just how you could see, you see it from the inside out. You see the fakery. I didn't need her to see that. I've seen that with other people that are famous, but it just was different, you know. It just was different. But yes, I was Muslim. And sometimes we would argue, because sometimes I'd be at home and she comes in and I'm watching television, and, you know, she will have one of her moments and she turns to you, sweetie, let's read a scripture. But you just interrupt my television program. So I really don't feel like a scripture or you right now. Like, what do you know? So, and then, you know, okay, fine, let's read a scripture, you know. And so she read the scripture, and if I get something out of it that she doesn't get, then it's Satan coming in according to her. You know. So that's where we fight, you know, like, don't tell me about, I don't need to get what you get out of it, and I don't need to, we fought like brother and sister sometimes, you know. Anjane, you were a very buff dude when I watched the choreography video you posted. I saw, no, you see me from the back, girl, I never been buff in my life. I'm not buff. I mean, I have a little bit of I got a little something going on, but buff would never describe me. Maybe Vanity wanted to get up. Oh, damn it, it jumped. Maybe Vanity wanted, where'd it go? Maybe Vanity wanted to get up on that initially. She used to tell me I looked like Jesse Johnson. And I didn't know it was Jesse Johnson. She just always say, you remind me of Jesse, you remind me of Jesse, you remind me of Jesse. You know. And finally one day who are you talking, Denise, who is Jesse? And she go, hello, Jesse Johnson, hello. And I can't. I thought Jesse Johnson was a good looking dude. I like Jesse, but I didn't think I looked like Jesse. But I could see where somebody would say it. We both had the long hair, like my hair is here, and that whole thing, you know. So I didn't take it as an insult. And no, because she had an ugly white dude this guy named Victor, that the Lord had told her was the one for her. He was an ugly white dude by anybody's standard, even if white folks looked at him. And, you know, luckily that didn't go through. That didn't happen, thank God. But just, I don't know. Like, it just didn't happen that way. It's the unknown that I don't even question. You know, sometimes you go, what would have been? I never had that with her, because the way that our relationship progressed, it was so pure and uncontrived, and it was just what the universe dictated. All of it. She wasn't trying to put on airs because she was a celebrity, and I wasn't trying to be anything other than just me. Period. That's it. And it just, that we just worked together that way. It just worked. I think that, see, for men, I think most brothers will agree with me on this. Even if you're a predator dude, which I'm not, if we got this, if we feeling you and like, ooh, I think we got on the smash alert. Sometimes the energy of that can change, and you get reclassified. We see you like not that, and it almost would feel icky if we went there. You know what I mean? So certainly before I met her, I'm a red-blooded male. And vanity is everything, dude. She's everything. She's that. She's that. She's that. She's that. She's that. She's absolutely desirable. And like I say, if I was a predator type and I just had decided that I'm going to make this happen, A, I don't know if it would have happened, and B, maybe it would have ruined our relationship. At the very least, it would have put it on a different trajectory. So romance would have been involved, and feelings and all that stuff, and maybe we wouldn't have gotten as far as we got, So I don't regret it. I don't look back and question it. And I'm grateful that I'm the man that I am, because I think a different person wouldn't have been in that position. You just wouldn't have been in that position, Came with a certain requisite. Yeah, she needed a real friend more than anything. Somebody real, because she had people that would be around her. People eager to be around you when you're famous. Felipe says yes. I lived on the. So you're saying she went through turning on fire alarms? I don't know anything about that. CJ Mendoza, Jedi, when are you doing a cooking video? Oh my God, CJ. Nobody's ever asked me. I don't know. I didn't have any plans on it, but I don't mind doing it. At some point, sometime back, the thought briefly crossed my mind. I was like, I might have been cooking that day, and I just thought, oh, it might be a good idea to just do like a cooking show just for the brothers that just don't know how to cook. I could just show them some things. That was just like the whole thing, and it was kind of a fleeting thought. It just kind of came in and went out. So maybe I will do something. Andre says, I won't be praising. Jedi is hilarious. Wild horses cannot align with Christianity. They cannot. I just looked up Jesse Johnson. No, sir. He does not look like the Jedi. I do apologize. I don't know which picture you saw, Jesse. So you had to see him in his prime. Because Jesse today is like Jesse. No, that was Jesse. Today is Jesse. It's a difference in Jesse and Jesse. So, anyways, I don't know where I was at or what I was doing now, y'all, and I don't mind. I'm fine with that. In fact, I kind of appreciate it when we can talk about whatever you guys bring up and whatever you're bringing up or talking about. I'm fine to do that. We'll go another 15. The update on Ghana, CJ, is obviously the money. I'm firm about making sure that I have every single dollar in place and not one less, because all of this has been given to me by the universe. So even when I started my fundraiser, when I came up with what I needed to put together, and what I needed to ask you all for. All of this was not done in haste or without thought, but also the most important thing, and especially with something like this, is definitely listening to the universe. I cannot get this wrong. I can't. So that's first. All right. And I can tell you that right now the embassy in Washington is closed, and that there is a freeze right now, for lack of a better term, on any of the visas and so forth. I expected that so much with the virus and everything, the virus going on. I'm not really concerned about that, because once I realized that we weren't going to reach the 2020 mark for the fundraising, and I didn't even think about when I first announced my move to Ghana, that I wasn't thinking about nobody but me, so to speak. By that statement, I mean, like, I wasn't thinking about my nephew at all. Like, my nephew graduated this year. And, by the way, they didn't call me and tell me that his fucking graduation was happening. I'm not going to get worked up over it. Not going to get into it. I will rant about that in another video, I promise you. But that would have been a consideration. In fact, it was. When I was like, oh, the prince doesn't even graduate until 2020, so there's no way I can be out of here 2020. He starts college, and so no. And then now the whole pandemic and all that, and that's fine, whatever. So I've resolved myself that it'll probably be next year. That's fine. Because other things needed to happen. My move here, 3 years in October it will be, was, before I envisioned it, I knew a downsizing was going to need to happen, because my other place had 2 bedrooms, and it was a bigger place and all that stuff. I knew I was going to be downsizing anyway. This made me do it faster. So that's a good thing. So the short answer is, once we finish raising the money, and then I get all of my documents and so forth in order, then I'll be ready to begin even my process then of begin to film my life here. Because at some point I want to start filming my life here, because I don't want to just pick up in Africa. I don't film it now because, for security reasons, and because I'm still here. But I would be looking forward to getting that chapter of this journey started, because remember, a big chunk of this is trying to, through what you see from me, have you realize and imagine that you can move too. Anybody that would behold it. Yeah. I think I can move to Africa. I also have been laying groundwork with a couple of brothers that are there, about, because I need to be received, but not even just received. I need to have solid contacts on the ground that understand here and there and understand me, and they can assist me so that I don't get taken advantage of and things like that. So I've been laying the groundwork for that as well. And initially I thought that I would leave here and move to New York with my sister, because it was important to me to spend time with her and the children, because I don't have anything to do with any of the rest of my family. But my sister is just broke down, dude. She's just broken it down, and I just, and she's. I talked about this in a previous piece. Y'all hear that? So she derailed that. So probably what will end up happening is I'll probably end up moving to Florida just before I move to Ghana, because I'm definitely going to be leaving here, and at some point I have to really completely just end my life here. I'm going to have to be a nomad for at least some small period of time before I get on a flight heading to Ghana. That means everything that I own has got to be thrown away or sold or given away or something. I can no longer have it, even down to my vehicle. My Nigerian brother was saying, he goes, why don't you just have your car shipped? Because I'm thinking that costs a lot of money that I don't want to spend. You understand? And, I just can get me another car when I get to Ghana. They make cars in Ghana. So an African manufactured vehicle, yes, that's attractive to me. That's attractive, you know. Uh, or maybe I store my car. You know, storage doesn't cost that much here. I store it, so anytime that I come back to the U.S., I still got a car. I like that idea, even, you know. Uh, but certainly, the sooner we get to this mark, because my mental block, CJ, with anything I do in life, I never allow myself to get excited about anything, and I almost don't even plan or even let myself go to the place until it's reality for me. You know, I've always been that way. Like I don't want to. It's not real yet. You know, so. Um, Anyways, that's the first hurdle. Is we and we're I'm way more encouraged now than I was when I started, because um, the last update that I gave you guys, I don't remember the numbers now, but we're marching steadily to that finish line. So it's been slower than I thought, but it's not impossible. You know, I I think this should have been something I should have been able to do, and it really affected everything, because if I had the monetary stuff in place on my end and my fundraiser, I probably would have been gone already. Certainly from the time that I started talking about it and I announced it, but then I didn't know anything about GoFundMe. I hadn't really worked out the numbers. I hadn't really studied the economy and stuff like that at that time. I'm way more knowledgeable now than I was when I first started talking about this. I'm ready. I know all that I can know without being on the ground. You know, even this heat that we're going through right now. I'm even have in the last few days even I've even said to myself, this is something I need to take on, because there's a lot of power outages in Ghana that can last for quite some time. You never know how long you're going to be without power. And everything that I've studied with their interiors and how they build and how they cool structures and stuff like that, I'm not really looking for it to be like this here. You know, you can get some good air conditioning. Don't get me wrong, but I've also seen and heard and saw people that have talked about the first thing that they noticed when they stepped off the plane was the heat hit them. Now, I take that with a grain of salt, because most black people that I know and have observed, certainly in this context, they're the wrong people. When you hear me say it's the wrong people that are going. The wrong people. So they're finicky anyway. Like, I'm way more eclectic than that, and I'm not so hung up on stuff, and I can move with the river. I'm good. You know, what something might be a bit like this one sister was talking about. This is how the helpful they're talking. You know, everybody treats me like I'm white here. They treat me like I'm white because I'm from the U.S. No, bitch, because you sound like a white bitch. That's why they treat you like a white bitch. You're not even making any attempt to even sound like somebody black. Anyways, it's a whole thing. So and the last thing I'll say is that one of the things I am interested in discussing with you all is my psychological preparation, because that's going to be important to share with you, so that others can walk through that door who are not me. You know, I come preloaded with some things that my life has just geared me to be able to switch scenarios seamlessly and without problem. I don't really have a lot of hangups and problems, you know, and requests and shit. But a lot of people do. Most people, I would say. So it's going to be important for me to be able to share the psychological journey and the preparing for that. You know, just to give you an example, to be able to talk about what it means for me to be knowing that I'm leaving everyone that I know behind. Do you understand? Like, nobody's going to be on the plane with me. Nobody. 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 So just even that, just to send you off on that thought road, so you can understand. And, you know, they have the 5,000 acres that they've laid aside for us who return. Khalifa and I were going to talk because he was saying, you know, because remember I've said I'm not really interested in the land. I'm just not really like, I'm not, I just want to be in the society. I don't want to be like, you know, but he was saying he might be able to, I'm interested to hear what my brother's going to say at the very least, you know, because Khalifa is into land development and stuff like that. And anything that I'm going to be interested in that would just be for the bigger picture of any of you that would come and my people. I'm not really. I don't want to just be where we at. Like I'm here with our people now. I'm good. I'm good. You know what I seek to be is an African. So whatever you're going to be, you got to be around that. You don't become a NBA player by hanging out with people that play piano. It won't happen. You got to go hang around people that are in the NBA. I got to be around Africans. I've been making that my thing to do here for the last several years. I stalk all Africans. That's how I became friends with my Nigerian brother. I stalked him. You're from Africa. We have to be friends. We have to. Because I need to suck everything off of you that I can. What can you tell me? Tell me anything. Just being around him is value. Value. Just value. It helps me to even assess my own understanding and readiness and worthiness, if you will. You know, there's great value. So I'm yes. And I don't want to say this out loud, but I'm going to say it because I started. I feel like I'm going to be pleasantly surprised that maybe I'm over preparing and over worrying. There, I said it. Initially, my nephew had said that he would come with me, CJ, but he is like his mother. They say something today, and it's just in a moment. Like, I need you to think about shit before you proclaim it to me. You see? Just like when she was saying, why don't we move together? And then now she's nowhere to be. Like, I'm going to move on to something else. Felipe, what are you going to do in Ghana for livelihood? Well, I will have money when I get there, so I'll be good to go. I also possess a degree in business, Felipe, and I've run my own business here. Even I only landed my business back in 2016-ish. So I've been looking at different things. I don't want to go with I'm going to go there and do this. What I most seek to do is to be able to use my money to join with somebody that's already there, because I don't want to be an intruder, and I really don't want to take anything from the society. I want to be seen as someone who came to contribute. So if I start my own thing, then it's just me. Even if I hire Ghanaians, it's still mine. I'd rather it be somebody else, and then I'm part of what they're doing. You know, that's one model. The other thing is, and then once that, and there's different things that I could do with that, because I have a very eclectic business acumen. Something else that I thought about, even in speaking with my sister Sci-Fi, you know, a lot of the textiles are very popular around the earth, quite frankly, but certainly here. And so just think about it like this. Let's say you have a business in Ghana where you make dashikis, and you make purses, and you make scarves, and you make, you know, attire and things like that, shoes, bracelets, whatever you make. Now here I come, the black American. Oh my God, where's my punch? The repatriate. And I say, let me now, because I also know how to design websites. Sadly, you guys didn't. Anyways, I know how to design websites. So I would have up on an e-commerce website where I could sell the merchant. It would be like a wholesale retail thing, like basically like what I was doing in America when I had my retail store. You buy it wholesale and you sell it retail. So I will kill the game. You'll get an excellent price. Anything I'm selling you, and you're getting it directly from West Africa, like made. You understand? You'll have some tight ass gear and accessories and whatever else you want to buy that you buy on site. And I'm looking to have a like a drop shipment so that like it'll potentially somebody like Sci-Fi, where I would have the materials here. I buy them so that you would get it quicker, is what I'm trying to say. So they actually be shipped to you from the U.S., so you don't have the delay in waiting for it to come, on a ship. That's uh, two of my hustles. You understand? But and then also on top of that, I would love to be able to take any menial job, not because I need the money, but because it will be honorable that I'm working. People see me like it's one thing you in business and all that, but can you also go and work someplace? Because that shows you're not proud, and that means more to me than anything. I don't want to be like a lot of these people that I see when I'm in my research over the years. They go there with the wrong fucking attitude. It must be seen by my people that I'm an humble man, that I am not proud. I am not a proud man. Not. Lightbearer, land is free for us. It is just like about 30,000 to have a home built. Actually, less than that, Lightbearer, in Ghana. But it's not expensive at all, and you determine your own cost because just what materials you want, and where they're going to come from. And are you going to buy them? If you buy local, you'll really come up because the American dollar is 5 times the Ghanaian CD. You understand? So that's why I was telling you guys, the $10,000 I'm raising from you and the $10,000 I put together, that's $20,000. That's $100,000 in Ghana. I can make it work. Because I'm not an extravagant person. If I had 100 grand here, it would be like I was a millionaire because I don't spend money. I don't, and I pinch the hell out of a penny. So certainly something, and I don't have a crew, and sadly and thankfully I don't have a family. So I can be very successful and also have the room to make mistakes by being financially prepared. It's very important. You must have a solid economic game or you'll be flying back to this bitch, and I don't want that. Thank you, Lightbearer, since I got your back on that. That damn Ethiopia building is supposed to fix the electrical issues. So keep up with that news because Egypt wants to stop it. Okay, but I'm not going to Ethiopia. Are you? What? Tell me what. Are you not? That doesn't have any effect on Ghana. What wall? Is there something on my wall? What wall, Lightbearer? They have beautiful rental condos also. Oh my God, listen, some of the rental properties are beyond. But I'm a simple dude. You feel me? I know the things that I simply must have and the shit I can do without. Like I'm good. What wall are you talking about, Lightbearer? What you think is going on with the noise we just heard? There's fireworks. They're always firing bombs and fireworks. I'm telling you, for nearly the whole 3 years I've been here, like literally 4th of July, it wasn't anything new. But I will say 4th of July felt like I was in Vietnam. Like I didn't want to even step out of my house, or like I almost felt like I should sleep on the floor even. It was so violent. We brought the design here and sent it to his friend to build. Yes, depends on design. You talking about the house? Under my fan? Libera, don't spook me out, girl. I think you're just saying things. I hope. Um, Sweet D, shout out to you. In the lighting? What are you talking about? Good morning, Jedi from the UK. Shout out to you, Donna. Like, what do you see? Talk to me. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over it. There's nothing on my wall. There's nothing. I don't see nothing. Unless there was a fly. It may be the light hitting the wall. What did you think you saw? Tell me that. Because I do have another lamp. You can't see it because of my pillow. But I have an oil lamp that's behind my Asian lamp that burns oil and it has a light. So I don't know. It looks like a wet ram's head. Anjane says, I don't see it. He's on my TV and I don't see anything. Lightbearer, I see an image. Felipe, it's the light. Yeah, it must be the light because there's nothing going on. This is a holy house. The only thing bad in this house is my damn profanity when I get worked up. When I'm talking about this white devil. I have a holy home. My home is clean and it's my serenity, really. You know, anyone that's ever been anywhere I live, anytime they've come to my house, people always say, your house totally feels like you. I would know this is your house even if you weren't home. So it's that way, you know. So I keep my home holy and righteous. And one of the many ways I do that is you don't let everybody come past your threshold. Yeah, so I see an image. It's the light bearer. It's very warm. Thank you, light bearer. So yeah, I think I'm not going to do it now because we're 3 hours and I'm going to land. And that's a good thing because I would have almost given into going into the next video, which I told you guys even in my last piece. I think I said that I almost was tempted to just do that in a live stream, but it's something I do need to add images to that because I just think it's more powerful that way. And then and it's probably going to be a thing where I'm on camera and then I morph in and out where I can show stuff and then it's probably going to be that. Yeah, I've just been putting the information together. again, it goes back to what consumes me, you know, and the status of our people. And so this is that, you know, it's just stories. It's stories, but you can't. It's like I could do this in 6 months if I wanted to, because it's just going to continue to grow itself. Because as I sit here, shit is happening. Like right now, I'm just over it. I'm just over it. I'm just over it. I need not only for the time to come where our people begin to demand our just to do, but I want to be a part of making that happen. I don't want to just be somebody with an audience seat. You know, I want to be one of the people cranking the wheels to make it happen. That's what I seek to do. That's what I seek to do. So, do your homework, you guys, that I gave you. I need you to go and you're going to look up and find videos and articles also about the persecution of Orthodox Jews by Israelis, aka Zionist fake Jews. And you're also going to go and make yourself aware of the video, specifically the video of this rally that they had. Let me see if I can find this march against Zionism they had, because this really will show it to you. You know, I'm trying to tell you that Orthodox Jews don't have shit to do with these damn Zionist ass people that are always screaming anti-Semitic every 5 minutes. Orthodox Jews march on Washington to protest Zionism. What the bitch? Orthodox Jews march on Washington to protest Zionism, 2008. Boom. Ultra-Orthodox New York Jews. Well, that I know about this one. This one's in Washington. And so that'll get you started. Maybe because I said 2008. But here's one right here. Orthodox Jews. This is in New York, homie. So before you even get to the thousands of them that were in Washington, D.C., ultra-Orthodox New York Jews protest Israel legislation. This is from 7 years ago. All right, I'm going to just let you see this. Thousands of members of the Orthodox Jews community Sunday flooded Lower Manhattan. It went too fast. Look, they're protesting Zionism, bitches. Do you understand? Wait, I can't. You see? Those are Orthodox Jews. These are not the people that scream anti-Semitic every 5 damn minutes. Do you understand me? All right? So, but you're going to go and find the one where this was while Obama was president, where they marched on Washington, and they were out there denouncing the Jewish flag, denouncing the state of Israel, and they had their speakers up there speaking and all of it. That's your homework. And then, and like I said, the other thing is that you see the images of them being persecuted by fake-ass Zionists in Israel. We don't give a fuck about these Zionists. They're not worthy of any consideration or respect. The Orthodox Jew, as I tell you, the Muslim calls them our cousin, they call us their cousin. They call the Quran the purified Torah. The purified Torah. Because they understand what Allah has already said to mankind in the Quran, that they will find it in their own books. When he speaks of the Christian and the Jew, they will find it in their own books. They will find it in their own books. That's why I always tell you, anybody that's really serious and not interested in just being on a team, that's just interested in wherever the truth leads me, that's where I'll go. Those Christians end up being Muslims. And so does everybody else. You understand? Specifically speaking about the Christian, when you just look at Deuteronomy 18:18, like, I mean, that's just one of many places that I have cited for you. But just that alone. Just that alone. You know, the Prophet Muhammad is being spoken about throughout your book. And one of the many places where it's crystallized is Deuteronomy 18:18, where Allah says again to Moses, I will raise up from amongst them a prophet like unto you, Moses, from their brethren. The brethren to the Israelites is the Ishmaelites. It's not talking about Christ because he was an Israelite. From their brethren. The Prophet Muhammad was from the lineage of the Ishmaelites. You understand? This is the one. And I will put my words in his mouth. And he will speak only what I tell him. And anyone that does not heed the words that I put in his mouth, I will deal with them harshly. He's telling the Christian. John 16. Verily there are many things that I have to say to you, but ye cannot bear them now. I must go so that he, the messenger of truth, can come. And when he comes, not it, when he comes, he will lead you into all truth. He will tell you about the future. He will speak in the name of the Father. He will speak only that which he has heard, and he will not be presenting his own ideas. It's talking about a man, a person. This is what Christ was telling you. But the white devil is polluted. Well, it's the Holy Spirit. No, it's not the Holy Spirit. Because the Holy Spirit was here when Christ was here. So it had to leave so he could go and then come back and then, come on, it gets into a mind fuck. I'm over it. Anyways, the fact of the matter is just to say that my main point was my main point to say that is to say, I'll just digress back to say, these damn fake ass Jews don't have to do anything. The Orthodox Jew we good with. We good. But not these Zionist ass fucking people who have no claim to holiness or anything else. They're not holy people. They are just part of the synagogue of Satan on earth that seek to enslave and to oppress all of fucking humanity. You understand? And they're most interested in money. Yes, they have all the damn money. Damn it. And part of that is because of their already economic advantage, plus they've been given reparations several times over, plus you give $500 billion to frickin' Israel every 5 minutes, and I'm over it. Like, I can't. And that's before you get into economic aid. The other shit that's separate. That's a different number. So we're clear. So, we gotta know who we are and we gotta protect our culture, and don't let anybody step to it. And don't let anybody represent themselves as an imposter of us without checking it. We must. There's a lot more I feel like I want to say, everybody, and I could say. And I love being with you guys anytime. I tell you all the time, that's why I do live streams, is so I can be with you in real time. It gives you a chance to just talk to me right now, and for me to talk to you right now, and to be together, as much as possible, in real time, and I love that. So, I'm sure I will speak again soon. We are all going very day. I want these wicked beasts to, disappear. If I had a magic wand, they would. I just go poof, be gone. I do love you guys all. I thank everybody who was able to come and see and be a part of the stream. I remind you again, the link for the GoFundMe is down below the video. Also, my CASHAPP tag is the Jedi1814. You don't gotta be wealthy. Just go and get what you can, everybody. It's strength in numbers. Every building has a cornerstone. You feel me? No one stone made the whole building. Well, we'll have to do it with this one stone. That will be the building. No. It's many stones that build up a building. It's many stones. You just need to be a stone. Whatever your contribution is. Whatever you personally can donate, you donate that. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. So today is Sunday, I think. So tomorrow is Monday. As I say, the next thing that I'm hoping to get out for you, but something interrupted, and I put something else out before that, or I come live again. But on my personal agenda, the next thing that I really do want to release for you is this piece that I've been discussing and talking about in my last piece, and I spoke briefly about it in this stream. To show, because I understand absolutely, I'm going to say this, I'm going to go. It's important that the rest of you, we know what's going on. You know, no matter how apathetic we are and trifling and we can't get up and do shit about it, that's fine. But in my mind, it's also important that the rest of humanity begins to understand white people are your problem. It's them. That's where you should be looking. It's them. And by being able to story all of their shit, you can never get it all, but a lot of their stuff, like this, I think is very powerful. And that's why I'm endeavoring to present that piece. You know, I've talked about it, but I think there's, you know, I always tell you, you can show it better than you can tell it. You know, pretty much anything in life. And it's just another expression of that. So, again, I thank you guys all. And may Allah continue to protect us all. May He allow those without courage and fearlessness to have it. And that soon and very soon, we will come together as a collective people and have our most effective and final pushback to get this devil up off our ass by any means necessary. I love you all. I'll see you soon.